Welcome, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled you're here for today's explainer because we're going to completely demystify the art of actually getting things done. We'll be using this super practical framework developed by Leo Babauta over at Zen Habits to break down exactly how you can achieve, well, literally any goal you set your mind to. Okay, let's dive into this. Henry Ford once said, obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. And man, doesn't that just hit the nail on the head? It perfectly captures this universal struggle we all face. You start off with this massive burst of energy, right? You're ready to absolutely conquer the world. But then, inevitably, life gets in the way. You lose steam. Suddenly, those little bumps in the road look like giant, insurmountable mountains. We have all been there, staring down a personal goal and feeling like we've just totally lost our drive.
But get this, 40. That is the surprising number of pounds the author, Leo Babauta, actually lost using the exact same methods we're about to unpack. And honestly, that's not even the whole shebang. Alongside shedding 40 pounds, he ran 2 marathons, completed a triathlon, quit his day job, and literally tripled his income, all in just 3 years. It's wild, but it proves that when you truly understand how to structure your efforts, these methods actually work.
So, here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. We'll be following the natural chronological journey of habit change, hitting 1. The power of motivation, 2. Starting outright, 3. Surviving the motivation dip, and 4. Building unstoppable momentum. All right, section 1, the power of motivation, defining the drive to keep going. Before we can really harness our drive, we've got to understand what it actually is at its core. Basically, motivation comes in 2 distinct flavors. First, there's negative motivation. Think of a boss threatening to fire you. Sure, that intense, sweating bullets pressure works temporarily to get a project out the door. But then there's positive motivation, doing something you are deeply passionate about. Now, what's really interesting about this is why positive motivation sustains your effort so much longer. You can only force yourself to do something you absolutely hate for so long, right? Positive motivation, doing something because you genuinely crave the outcome, is the secret sauce. It's what gets you waking up early with actual, real excitement. Moving right along to section 2, starting out right, setting yourself up for success. Okay, the absolutely most crucial rule of the beginning phase of any goal is this: start small. I mean, ridiculously small. Let's say your goal is to exercise. Do not, I repeat, do not start with 5-day-a-week grueling gym sessions. Step 1 is just 2 minutes of daily exercise. Seriously, 2 minutes. It sounds almost wimpy, right? But that's exactly the point. By taking these insanely easy baby steps, making your goals so incredibly small, you basically bypass your brain's natural resistance. It makes failing practically impossible. You just do your 2 minutes. Then, after a week, move to step 2 and do 5 minutes. In a month, you'll be hitting step 3, naturally doing 15 to 20 minutes without even breaking a mental sweat. Alongside starting wimpy, you've got to follow a few other crucial starting rules. First up, choose exactly one goal. Trying to do the whole new year, new me routine and doing way too much at once, it completely saps your energy. Pick just one thing. Second, examine and physically write down your deep motivation, your ultimate why. Third, commit publicly. Tell your friends, tell your family, or post it on a blog. We naturally push harder when we know others are watching us. And finally, this one's kind of counterintuitive, build massive anticipation by actively delaying your start date. Don't start today. Mark a date a week or 2 out, plan for it, and let that anticipation build so you're literally bursting with energy when day 1 finally hits. You'll also want to keep your goal front and center in your life. Take your goal and shrink it down into a short, punchy mantra, like exercise 15 minutes daily. Print it out in massive, bold letters, tape it to your bedroom wall, stick it on your fridge, make it your computer background, the whole 9 yards. By surrounding yourself with these constant reminders, you keep your daily focus sharp and that initial excitement totally supercharged. But here is a reality check we all have to face. What happens when that excitement inevitably fades? Because let's be real, it always does. The initial rush wanes, the shiny newness wears off, and suddenly the work just feels like, well, work. And you know what? That is completely 100% normal. Motivation isn't this constant, unmoving thing. It ebbs and flows like the tide. We have to acknowledge and normalize these inevitable low points of the journey. Which brings us to the narrative climax of our journey, section 3, surviving the motivation dip, overcoming the urge to quit. Surviving this incredibly tough middle phase requires you to actively manage your own mind. When those negative thoughts start creeping in, you've got to squash them like a bug and instantly replace them with positive self-talk, like literally telling yourself, I can do this. When a task suddenly feels way too hard, shift your focus completely away from the struggle. Instead, focus purely on the benefits and how absolutely amazing you are going to feel when it's done. And when you get those sneaky, unconscious urges to just throw in the towel, tally them up on a piece of paper to physically track them. So the crucial point here is actively monitoring that internal chatter and having a tangible plan to manage those negative urges before they derail your progress. To keep yourself going through that gritty middle phase, you need a few daily tactics in your back pocket. One brilliant strategy is actually holding back your initial energy. When you first start out, only let yourself do maybe 50 to 75% of what you actually want to do. By intentionally holding yourself back, you leave yourself eagerly craving your next session. Next, if you're ever feeling sluggish, just tell yourself to just start. Don't even think about the whole massive workout. Just put your running shoes on and step out the front door. The rest usually just flows naturally from there. Also, read inspiring success stories every single day to reignite that spark. And take a few minutes daily to vividly, intensely visualize your ultimate success in great detail. Now, if there is one golden rule to take away from this entire explainer, it is absolutely this. Never skip 2 days in a row. Listen, we're human, we aren't perfect, life happens, right? It is completely okay if you miss one day. But when day 2 rolls around and you're feeling a little lazy, you must strictly and forcefully tell yourself, no. Missing a second day is exactly how a temporary little slip turns into a permanent failure. Don't let it happen. All right, let's ramp the energy back up for our final phase. Section 4, building unstoppable momentum, sustaining the journey. You really cannot do this alone. Building a solid support system is absolutely essential. Go out and find like-minded friends, join some online forums or local clubs, maybe even get a coach or sign up for a formal class, and commit to reporting back to these groups to keep yourself accountable. And this brilliantly illustrates a core truth about human nature. Achieving a massive goal is rarely a solo endeavor. Drawing energy, inspiration, and accountability from other people is absolutely vital when your own internal motivation naturally ebbs like the tide. Let's move to our timeline and see how this actually builds. On day 1, simply chart your progress. Put a big, satisfying X on your calendar. By week 1, you hit a mini goal, effectively breaking down that overwhelming long-term objective into bite-sized, manageable chunks. By week 2, give yourself an appropriate reward for your consistency. Seriously, celebrate that you stuck with it. And ongoing, the ultimate key is to find genuine, daily joy in the practice itself. You've got to find pleasure in the quiet beauty of a morning run or the fresh taste of a healthy meal. Tracking your progress and rewarding those little milestones actually trains your brain to find real, long-term pleasure in your brand new daily habit. I want to bring us to this famous Winston Churchill quote, never, 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 never give up. It's such a powerful reminder that this journey, it's almost never a straight line. Motivation is going to come and go. It will leave you, and you will absolutely feel stuck at times. But the Zen Habits framework promises us this one beautiful thing. As long as you stick it out, rely on your wimpy little baby habits, lean hard on your support system, and just wait, that motivation will eventually return. So what does this all mean for you? I want to leave you with a direct challenge. What is the one goal you will start tomorrow? Stop waiting for the stars to align or for the perfect moment. Pick your single goal. Figure out your deep, burning motivation, scale it way down to an embarrassingly small 2-minute baby step, and delay your start date to build up that massive anticipation. Apply this framework right now and see just how unstoppable you can truly become. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on today's explainer, and I will catch you next time.